Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me on the channel today for some recent hockey pickups. I have a small stack here of singles that I've picked up, I think largely or maybe even wholly via eBay. These are kind of in my to be processed or incoming pile, in some cases for a few weeks or longer, so I figured I would just clump them all together and do a quick video today showcasing some of these. And these are all going to be modern hockey cards, picked up in the last few weeks, and cards that are all from the last few years for the most part. The first two are actually throw-ins that sellers just included with singles that I bought. Thought that was pretty cool, so I got this O-Pee-Chee Mark Messier. I think it's like a 93 O-Pee-Chee, 92 O-Pee-Chee Mark Messier, so cool card there. Captain of the Rangers at the time. And then I also got this McDavid thrown in with another McDavid that I picked up recently that I'll show in a upcoming video. I don't have that one to show here today, but I did like this Thrilling Finishes from O-Pee-Chee Platinum that was thrown in as a bonus by the seller. And anytime you can get a McDavid card for nothing tossed into a purchase, that's a pretty generous seller. Then we're going to get into the pickups here that I actually did hand select and pick out. And the first one is a card I've shown before, but I couldn't resist picking up another copy of this. This is the gold rainbow foil Alex Ovechkin from 2016. This is the first year that they did these. I think I showed off my complete run of these recently, but really, really cool. Or maybe that was Clear Cuts that I showed the run of. I can't remember now, but just an awesome card. And it took, 100 copies of this single via e-pack to trade into one of these gold rainbow foils. And even though I already have this card, I was the only bidder on that with an opening bid of 99 cents. So not going to turn that card down at that price. So that's one of my favorite modern parallels. There are sort of three Upper Deck parallels that I tend to gravitate towards, being the speckled rainbow or gold rainbow that you see there. The next one that I like is Upper Deck exclusives, and that happens to be the next card that I have here as well. This is also an Ovechkin. This one is a shared checklist card, which I normally don't bother with, but in this case, the price was so good that I just decided to scoop this up. This is, I believe, from the 2017 flagship set. It's the Series 2 checklist featuring Ovi and Steven Stamkos. So I kind of like the pairing of those players. I do, when I pick up these parallels, I do try to stick to the base card, and I try to avoid these multiplayer checklists. But in this case, this is numbered out of 100. This is from the year that Ovechkin won his cup, and obviously both the guys on the front of this card are headed to the Hall of Fame, and being an exclusives parallel, it is numbered out of 100, as I said. So just really, really cool. I love these exclusives. That's kind of the second of three parallels that I try to track down here from modern Upper Deck flagship hockey. And then the third and final of those three parallels that I'm really into for the past maybe 6 years or so since these came about are the Clear Cut acetate parallels. I've talked about these plenty of times, but they're sneaky rare, even though they're not numbered. I think you get maybe 3 to 4 per case, and they parallel the whole set. So you have to open dozens and dozens of cases of Upper Deck flagship hockey to get, any one player as far as their Clear Cut acetate card goes. And I got a nice little trio here of Leon Draisaitl, the guy who's often overlooked, playing in the shadow of Connor McDavid, but you can see the acetate going on here. Just awesome clear card. The back is a little bit different, obviously, because they had to accommodate, for the see-through quality of the card. But this is the 2020-21 Leon Draisaitl base, and really love picking up Draisaitl cards. I've said it so many times, but I think he is very undervalued compared to his talent level in the sport of hockey, partially playing in the shadow of McDavid, maybe somewhat the fact that he's from Germany initially. I don't really understand the rationale behind why he doesn't get more hobby love. He's a top 5 offensive player in the game all day long. He's got, an MVP and a scoring title under his belt already. To go along with this, which is the base card, I also have his All-Star Clear Cut acetate card from 2020. And that's from the extended series, which is kind of like update in the world of baseball, and features that very distinguishable, or I guess distinguished white Oilers All-Star uniform. Love it or hate it. And so kind of cool to get the pair of clear-cut Dreisaitl's from 2020. And then because I was on a kick and found it at the right price, I think this was like $4.99 or something like that, just borderline criminal. Here is his clear cut from this past year's set. The year after those two, the 2021-22 Leon Draisaitl. And I love the photo and kind of the depth on this one. You have like another player in the background here that's sort of faded, and that really adds to the acetate effect. These two, I think I may have had a copy of already, certainly the base card anyway, but you know, they were just so dirt cheap that I couldn't pass them up. This one, on the other hand, is new to me. I did not have his latest card in clear cut format, so happy to have that one. And that kind of represents, you know, these three cards that you see here kind of represent the trio of parallels that I am most into when it comes to the Upper Deck hockey product these days. As I said, for the past 6 seasons or so, you know, the speckled or rainbow, the exclusives, which are numbered to 100, and the clear cut, which are sneaky tough. Those are really what I'm searching for when it comes to the top players in the game. And I have a couple more examples of a guy that I haven't really done a good job getting into my collection until recently. Picked up his Young Guns rookie as one of my big fish cards of the year, or of the month earlier this year, I should say. And I have a couple of these parallels of him now. So from the 2019-20 Upper Deck set, here is the speckled rainbow foil Austin Matthews. Just an awesome celebration shot there. And look at that effect. I mean, it really shows through nicely here with like the predominant white background of the boards here, but these cards are just incredible. So this is the modern take on this card that started back in 2016. They changed the name and they slightly altered the technology from year to year as well, but they're now known as the speckled rainbow foils. These are e-pack exclusives through ComC, and they're just gorgeous cards. They're not numbered, but I can tell you they are fairly scarce. And if you're a fan of the shine, it doesn't get much better than these as far as the modern Upper Deck hockey set goes. And then because we had a speckled, why not throw in a clear cut Matthews as well? Really happy about this. Was able to pick this one up for about $20 delivered US. And I think that's a really good deal. Goes nicely with the Draisaitl that we saw in the background from the same set. And of course, what's cool about this one, this is the monster year for Matthews, where he scored 60 goals last year and was named MVP, in addition to winning the Rocket Richard Trophy for the goal scoring lead. So because of that, I think getting his parallels from last year's set kind of have a little bit of extra, I guess, feeling of significance, just because that was a very historic year. I'm one of those collectors. I'm curious if you go by this at all, but I think a card, you know, in addition to a player's rookie, which obviously is very desirable in the hobby, I'm also a fan of cards from years where the player had a very notable year. And that's certainly the case, as I said, with that Matthews. And then the last card today was actually inspired by a fellow YouTuber I've mentioned plenty of times, but my good buddy Peeps. He mentioned this card to me. I was not aware that it had even come out. I think it was in Series 2 of this past year's Upper Deck set, so it hasn't been out long, and it is a canvas insert. It's one of the short printed retired stars on the canvas checklist, and you know I had to go for this one as soon as I learned about it. Check out this sweet Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey. You know, not every day that I can find a new card of him that I don't already have where he's in a Whaler sweater. He famously played for them for the last year of his career only. I believe it was his age 50 season or something like that. And, you know, he definitely played, you know, above the age of 50 in the NHL, which is something we will never see again. And was really happy to see that photo selected for the Canvas like Retired Legends set in the Upper Deck Series 2 product. So we're going to wrap it up here. I think I'm going to successfully keep this under 10 minutes miraculously. But just wanted to show off some of these recent pickups. Just showing that, you know, modern hockey cards are pretty darn fun, and it doesn't have to be expensive to collect the greats of the game. I don't think anything in this shot, you know, set me back less than $20 delivered. And really, if you take out the Austin Matthews cards, I don't think anything in this shot set me back more than $10 delivered, and many of them were under $5. So just an affordable, fun way to collect the sport of hockey, and appreciate you stopping by to check them out with me. I'll be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. Until then, take care and enjoy the hobby.